Okay, sorry. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another RSG D&D campaign edition. I think we're on numero tres, Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman.
We're counting this as 4 because our first one was on the charity stream.
Well, fine, Dr. Finn. We'll call it number 4. But what we're doing on this one is not actually episode 4 because we're not actually doing the campaign today. What we are going to be doing is working on our characters, and we're going to show how some of the sausage is made, and we're going to work on their leveling to level 4. So we figured we'd just kind of show that and kind of do some of their backgrounds, get to know the characters a little bit. We don't have everybody here. This is kind of why we're doing it, because we're missing pretty much half the crew, because they're, busy doing stuff. So we figured this would be a good time to kind of do this. We've got John Moran here.
Hey.
And we've got Corinth here.
Hello.
And of course, we got Dr. Finn here. He who shall not be named. And we also have Andrew here eventually. We're trying to work on his mic, but where he's having problems and stuff. So we're trying to get that squared away. It's making that strange buzzing sound. If anybody is a mic guru, we could really appreciate some help. DSP, where's Callisti? How dare you, DSP? This is not it's not Game of Thrones. You're a bad man. You're a very, very bad man. Alright, so I would start off, let's start off with one character at a time. We're going to kind of mess around with the feats and stuff. I have the feats up, I've got some of the books up and stuff like that. Who would like to go first?
Well, let's go through the rules a little bit. So we've been monitoring the chat during these streams, right?
Sure.
And there's some things that you guys have been asking for. When we play, we obviously are kind of in character, and we can't really do much, right? We're kind of in character, we're playing around, and you guys have been asking kind of who's who and what's our character and those kind of questions. So what we're going to do a little bit more this time is let you guys understand our character a little bit more. And so when we're leveling up and discussing our character level up, we can also tell you a little bit about our character, how we're playing it, that kind. So it's a little bit about the background, because a lot of you guys are not familiar with D&D, and this may be your first kind of experience into it. And so we'll kind of give you that insight as well to our characters.
That's right.
So do you want to make me the test dummy, Ranger?
Yeah, let's do it. So we're going to level up Finn, who is playing a bard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
We'll go to bard.
So bards are interesting characters overall. Yeah, they're a character that are not necessarily themselves combat oriented. They are a faction or a class that really provides bonuses to the rest of the team and gives them the ability to fight a little bit better. I'm using my abilities a little bit different in the campaign, as you may have seen. Like, I'm using the bardic inspiration on myself a little bit more because I have a particular class that kind of allows for that. So that's what I'm using mine with. But they have the ability to really play music. That's some kind of art form. They can dance, they can sing, they can perform. It's something along those lines. And then they give a bonus because they're so awesome to their teammates that helps them with different kinds of roles or something along those lines. So that's the character that I'm playing. And so my bard, Oregon, is a musician. He does music, and you may have seen that he plays his lute whenever he can and tries to make a little bit of money off of it. So fun things like that. And he is primarily going to assist others. He has some spells as well. So he has a few healing spells. As you may have seen, there's some healing going on. But for the most part, he is very much a people person. My character is designed more to interact with people, get information, apparently make friends with little girls, which is kind of odd, but there is that. So in my character now, we're hitting level 4, and what are our rules for leveling for level 4?
All right, so this will be, of course, you get your hit. You get to roll your hit dice, right? So you would be 1d8 plus your Constitution modifier. You can either just take 5 plus your Constitution modifier for your hit points, or you can do the chance of the roll thing. So that's the first thing.
Oh, so I get an ability point anyways? Oh, you're talking about the hit points. Yes,
hit points. Yes. So you need to roll your hit points.
You know what? Screw it. Let's go ahead and roll it. This is probably a really bad decision. I should probably just take the 5, but I'll take the 5. Never mind.
5 plus your so
7.
7. So you add 7 points to your current hit points.
So I'll go up to 34.
Yes. Which is not bad for a bard.
No, my rolls would end up just being crappy, so there's no point.
Well, let's see. Let's roll anyway. See what you would have gotten since you already decided to take 7.
Okay. No, well, they only missed 1, so I'm not as upset.
All right. Now, the way I'm working this is for everybody. Is now at level 4 you get ability score points, but I didn't allow you guys to do any kind of feats or anything, right? Now the way feats will work is you have 2 options. You can take 2 points and put it in any score you want, or you can pick 2 feats. If you pick a feat, you can only allow to have 1 feat that increases your ability scores. The other one cannot. So it has to be something that does not increase your dex, intelligence, anything like that. So you can either do one or the other. Sound fair?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
And so we'll start with you, Dr. Finn. Now you also, let's see, for your character, you go anything else. You see at level 4, you get another spell, so you can add another spell, and your proficiency bonus still stays the same. It won't go up until 5th, so you're only a +2 in your level of proficiency. Good enough. Okay. So we're going to start with you, Dr. Finn. Now, feats. What feats are you looking at to add to your bard?
Yeah, so I do think I'm going to go the feats route. It's interesting because there's nothing that fits my character perfectly. I was looking at these and it's
okay. So let's think about your character. How you can do combat, or you can just do other things, right? There's a lot of things you can add to there. So
I'm definitely not going the combat route. I'm definitely not going that route.
Well, I mean combat. I mean like spell casting, things of that nature.
Yeah, I that wouldn't be in my character in general. So that's yeah.
So you're looking for something that's more supportive.
Yeah, I'm definitely going more support. I'm going to focus on my charisma and the skills that I already have. And some of these are interesting. I don't know. I'm hoping they're going to come into use. But
here's something that you can do. You can do inspiring leader. It requires a charisma 13 or higher, which I think you have, right?
Yeah.
You can spend 10 minutes inspiring your companions, shoring up the resolve to fight. When you do so, choose up to 6 friendly creatures, which can include yourself, within 30 feet of you, who can see or hear you and who can understand you. Each creature can gain temporary hit points equal to your level plus your charisma modifier. A creature can't gain temporary hit points from this feat again until it is finished or a short long rest. So that's one you can think about.
So how does this work?
What do you mean?
So I saw that one, right? But it says you
battle.
Can spend
so if you're about to go into battle,
your...
it's inspiring leader. You just like make a little speech or do something where it's like, like, all right, guys, we're getting ready to go in here. We're gonna go in there and kick that ass and blah 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 blah. And then everybody gets extra hit points.
And how many how many times can I use this? Is it basically 10 minutes that I have to keep track of how many rounds?
No. Before the match, you have to do it 10 minutes.
So I can do it repeatedly. Before every combat, I can do this.
Right, but you have to have a short, or it lasts until combat's over, basically, right? And you can't do it until you either have a short or a long rest. So you can only do it once, pretty much per battle, until you take a short rest. And a short rest is like an hour, and then you can do inspiring leadership again. But you can't do it like, inspiring leader, they lost hit points, I'm going to do it again. That's how it works.
Right. But if so, let's say in a day there's 2... So only because I saw this one and I wasn't sure how the rules would work on it.
So let's say in the morning you have a battle, right? And then you win. You do inspiring leadership prior to you guys going into battle. When the battle's done, you guys are victorious. Then you take a short rest for an hour, and then you do it again, because later that night you guys into another battle. right? So it's only limited by how many short rests you can take. That's a possibility, just something for you to think about. Let's see. Luck is always a good one, Lucky.
Yeah, luck is I'm not 100% yet, but I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm going to take.
Alert's always good. Let's see.
The other one I was looking at was silver-tongued.
Let's look at it.
You might want to look at Fade Away.
That would make sense as a bard, right?
What was the one you were saying, Corin?
You might want to look at Fade Away.
Where is Fade Away?
Look at these in such a strange way.
Yeah, I know.
Silver tongue. You develop your conversational skills. It's better to deceive others. You gain the following benefits. You increase your that'll be when you're increases your charisma by 1. You gain proficient in the deception skill. If you're already proficient in that skill, you add double your proficiency bonus to checks with it. So you'd have to make a note about that, right? When you take the attack action on your turn, you can place one attack with an attempt to deceive one humanoid you see within 30 feet of you that can see and hear you. You make a deception check by the target's inside. If your check succeeds, your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks from the target, and your attack rolls against it have advantage. And that lasts until the end of your turn. And if they beat it, they can't be deceived for you by an hour. So that's Silver Tongue. What was the other one? Fade Away?
Yeah, Fade Away lets a gnome become invisible, but it puts a point towards dexterity or int, and I don't think I want that with my gnome yet.
Why?
Because he's not dex or int focused right now. It doesn't provide him much. I mean, it's a little more survival for sure, but it's not providing him much.
Intelligence and dex, so that improves your lore checks and also increases your chance to avoid attacks.
Yeah, but in general, I won't be in the front of combat.
So immediately after you take damage, you can use your reaction to magically become invisible until the end of your next turn, or until you attack, deal damage, or force someone to make a save throw. Once you use the ability, you can't do this again until you finish a short rest or long rest. It's a basic get out of jail free card, plus increase your stats.
Yeah. Or the other one was Diplomat.
Diplomat. To find it, because
Diplomat towards the top. It's one of the first groupings.
No, there it is. Increase your charisma by 1. You have proficient persuasion skill. You get double your proficiency. And basically, you can charm somebody.
Question is, what does that, how does that, so what is the double your, mean? Add double your proficiency bonus. Oh, okay. So my proficiency bonus is 2.
Right.
So that would be 4. Is there a way to mark it in here? I think there's a way to edit this, right? I think it's in the... Yeah, there's a way to edit.
Right.
Okay, I think I'll settle on that. I'm going to do Diplomat and Luck as my 2.
All right, so go ahead and add that.
I think it's in the...
Oh, my phone just went off. Wouldn't be it wouldn't be one of 5. So there you go. So, you want to talk about your character, Finn? So,
Yeah. So when we made the character, we had to roll some. Do you have my character sheet up just so they can see?
Yeah, you can show it. I'm there.
Okay. So we have the personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. Now, interesting thing about 5 versus D&D 3.5, if that's what you're familiar with, that's what I was familiar with before. You kind of created your own character personality. Interestingly, in the D&D 5 version, you actually kind of roll and you create like this persona, and then you play that person. So my personality traits when I rolled it was a good laugh is most of the time the key to bond. I don't mind being ridiculous. So you'll see my character acting really, really silly at times. That's in keeping with his personality trait that he rolled. His ideals is diligence. I'm only here as a mediator, nothing more, nothing less. So he's very focused when it comes to particular tasks. He may goof around, but it's still very focused. His bonds, I've met someone here. I'm seriously considering moving in. So he's very clingy. He's very, very much clingy. And so that's why you can kind of see the way I play the character. I'm always hanging around with Grim and Vancel. Because those two characters, Orgrim and Vancel, were the two characters that I was kind of brought into the campaign with because we had previously done missions. And so I am very, very much attached. If you watch the first episode, which was during the charity stream, I was trying to stay in the same room as them as well. So it was a matter of just trying to, stay with the people that I know. So I'm very clingy that way. And then the other one, the last one, is the flaws. I've double-checked my wine. I've had 2 different persons tasting it, but I need to be sure if it's not poison. So this kind of goes with the whole chair thing in the first episode. My character, I'm playing him very paranoid. He's worried about somebody out to kill him. Now I do have a backstory for him that makes this all kind of come together. And sure, I can kind of summarize
your backstory with the folks.
So essentially, he grew up in a house.
You got a bio and info.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna summarize it because I don't want to necessarily read the whole thing because I wrote a story because I like putting in all that stuff. But in just quick summary of the character, he grew up in a household where the father was very abusive of the mother, and so he was basically the kid. The mother was protecting him, and then one day the mother had died while they were going on a trip. Not by the father's hand, but when they were going on a trip traveling to another town, the mother was attacked and she was killed. And the father continually blamed him. And so since that point, which was at the age of 15, and gnomes are considered to be adults at the age of around 34, 35. And so during the time that he was still growing up and his mother had died, the father continued to blame him for their death. And actually he was actually killed during his birthday. The mother died on his birthday. So his birthday is a constant reminder of his wife's death. And so he has tried to poison his son. His father had tried to poison Oregon in the past during his birthday. He got violently ill after his immediate birthday, after his mother's death. And so he's always been paranoid since that point that somebody is trying to kill him because his own father tried to poison him with birthday cake. And so it's basically that's the way he kind of grew up. Now, what happened was he came home one day when he was 35, and this is kind of where he kind of set off on his own. On his 35th birthday, the father came home in a drunken stupor like he typically does with the poisoned birthday cake, and he tried to present it to him, but Oregon intentionally kind of made him angry. And after getting beaten up, Oregon used his kind of people skills that he developed with the people in the town and convinced them of different things. The father was so kind of tired after beating him, Oregon convinced him that he was hungry and needed a piece of cake, and the father ate the cake and basically killed himself with his own poison cake. But feeling somewhat responsible by these actions, he kind of left. He kind of went off on his own, and that's kind of the backstory of Oregon. His father, Ethan, basically killed himself after he realized he ate the poisoned cake, dove at Oregon, who was holding a dagger, and he basically landed on the dagger, ending his life. And because he didn't want to have any of the issues, any of the questions from the people, he basically left the community. Even though everyone basically supported Oregon, but he needed a new start. And so he's on his adventure. So his alignment is true neutral. He's neither good nor bad. He's neither lawful nor evil, or not, or chaotic. He's just kind of neutral. He goes along through life just doing whatever he kind of wants. He's more interested in the arts. He's more interested in dealing with people, but he'll do whatever in order to gain those skills and kind of make a buck. So that's the backstory of my character.
All right. All right, so you've picked your feats. Go ahead and did you already add those in?
I'm adding them right now to the sheet.
All right, let's move on to the next one, which should be, I don't know, who wants to go next, Corinth or John?
I'd rather go at the end just because I've never done this before, so I'm trying to learn as I'm watching.
All right, Corinth, you ready to go through some stuff?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, let's pull up your thing, and what is the name of your character, just so people know?
Faerun.
All right, and what is, we looked at your character sheet, you are a genocide. You want to tell the folks about what those are?
That is usually a half creature, like an elf or a human, that has somewhere either in their lineage or directly in their mother or father had relations with some type of an elemental. So that could be a genie, that could be a wind elemental, anything that has to do with those types of things is what type of genasi I am. There's also genasi that are of every element as well, so fire and stone and so on.
And which one have you picked?
Yeah, I'm an air genasi.
Okay. And so let's look at your wizard. You are a wizard, correct?
Correct.
All right. So you delve into the magical realms. So you are at 4th level. You will also gain another spell that you get to pick automatically, right? And let's look at what you want to add. Do you want to add 2 points to your ability scores, or do you want to add 2 feet?
I'm going to go the 2 feet routes as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to go first with toughness, since we seem to be jumping into fights quite a bit, and I don't want to get killed.
Well, let's look at toughness.
Or tough, I think it's called now.
Find the damn thing. Let's start from the top and try this again. I said make these a little bit easier to find. Well, I can't seem to find the damn thing anywhere. Where is it?
It should be right before Warcaster, so it's not part of the weapon type feats. It's those. So it was Spell Sniper, Tough, and then Warcaster.
Under weapons, okay.
Above weapons is what mine is. You're
there
close. Yeah.
Your hit point maximum increased by amount equal to twice your level when you gain this feat. Whenever you gain a level thereafter, your hit point maximum increases by 2 hit points. So you can add, so your hit points are going to increase by an amount equal to twice your level.
Got it.
Okay. And so you also get, see, your wizard, so you are 1d6 plus your constitutional modifier. So you can do 4 plus your constitutional modifier, or you can roll.
We can just do 4, I think. Yeah, that's fine.
So 4, and you have a +1 con, so add 5 hit points from
awesome.
that, and then add your toughness, and make sure you write that down as part of your stuff in there to increase your... So let's go ahead and do your hit points. So add all that together and add to your hit points.
Should be 35, right?
5 plus what? 8? So, because you're level 4, twice that, right? So that should be 8 points.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 plus 8 would be 13, so that should put you at 34.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. And what other feat are you going to go with?
Keen mind. And it's more of a background one as well. It's not necessarily a combat one either.
Well, it does increase your intelligence by 1.
Yep.
And you can accurately recall anything you have seen or heard within the past month. There you go.
And I always know which way is north, so that seems like it was a good package.
Know how many hours left for the next sunrise, sunset, so yes. So keen mind, go ahead and add that to your thing. And let's talk about your character a little bit. We know you're genocide, but let's look at your... Well, go ahead and add that stuff, and then we'll get to your character's background.
All right. It's not what I wanted to do. Where are you guys adding your feats at?
Do it under...
features and traits?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you guys have questions, go ahead and ask them in the chat. So while we're doing this, we'll answer you guys' questions about D&D and whatnot. So DSP asks, is Bard equals support? Yeah, Bard is essentially a support character.
So it'd be under features and traits. You just add that in there.
Dennis Horth, he's asking a Galaxy of Heroes question. We'll answer it. Just want to know what mods are best for Moff Tarkin. Yeah, full potency sets, or it's speed. You want speed.
No, we didn't do your personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws, and all that stuff. Correct?
Potency crossed with speed is what you want, Dennis Horth. I'm probably going to say it wrong, but that's the way I'll have to go. Let's see. Scrolling through the questions. Thane Kyrell, did Finn just say that he has 2 guys tasting his wand? I thought that stuff stays on the mature channel. No, I did not say that. I don't know what you're referring to, but I did not say that.
Corinth.
Yes.
Race side piece. Are Corinth and John playing new characters? No, they're playing the same characters. They're just leveling them up this session. So we're leveling up our characters to level 4 as a result of all of our combat from the last one.
All right. Did you add your 1 to your intelligence already, Corinth?
Nope, that's next. I can do that one real easy. Yeah. Ah.
So your intelligence is 20? You can't go above 20. You're going to have to pick something else.
You are correct. Right. So
you can pick it, but you cannot add the 1 intelligence.
What was the other option I could choose? That's going to take me a minute to think then. That kind of threw a wrench in it.
All right,
I'm going
so
to need
let's
a
talk
second.
about, I'm not seeing your background here. Personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws.
So if you go to the bio and info, that's where I kind of started to put that stuff down. So
well,
like,
did we actually go through and pick these?
We picked some of them, like entertainer, noble, fear of undergrounds, stuff like that. That's what I don't think we remember.
I don't think we did this correctly. All right.
Sure.
All right, I'm going to link this in Skype. I need you to go through and start picking one of these.
I just put the link in chat for you guys to review feats. If you guys want to follow along with us and see the site that Ranger's using, there's a whole website for the different feats, and you guys can look through it and see how they all kind of work. So there's different abilities. Different characters focus on different abilities. So there's 6 of them: strength, dex, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and dexterity. And so, oh no, what did I say? I said agility, didn't I? Strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. The first 3, strength, dexterity, and constitution, are considered a little bit more of the combat abilities. Strength increases your damage that you deal. Dexterity is kind of your armor and possibly your ability to hit if you're a ranged attacker. Constitution is for your hit points.
Strength is how strong you are. Dexterity is how nimble you are.
Yeah, and then constitution is how hard you are.
Your health pool, right?
Yep.
How able you're able to resist things. Intelligence is obvious what it is.
Wisdom is obvious, and charisma.
And so is charisma. So
yeah, and those are kind of your non-combat. So when you pick a character, right, you're trying to figure out how you want to balance out those abilities with your character. Are you going to be focused more on kind of the little more of the combat-oriented ones like strength, dexterity, con, or are you going to focus on the non? And so different characters have different focuses. My focus as a bard, because he gets a bonus to his spells, also as a result of charisma, is charisma. So that's why he is a people person. A ranger, like Van's character, who's not here right now, but he would be focusing on dexterity, because dexterity makes him more nimble, makes him more agile, gives his armor up, makes it better for ranged attacks. So each character has a different focus. Right. So each character should be focusing on that one in particular. That's part of these feats. We're looking to see which ones are being worked on, which ability point are you getting. That's why I kind of strayed away from dex and intelligence. Not that it's not beneficial for my character, but my character is not designed for a combat. He's very much designed for preventing combat before it starts type 2. And then if combat happens, then I hide behind Orgrim and Van Celsa.
If I let him. So we did 1 feat. So Corinth, what other feat are you looking at then, my friend? And we're going to do your background.
Right now I'm leaning towards resilient, because it goes along with toughness, and then it allows me to be kind of strong when I'm casting and can't be interrupted type thing.
Okay, find the damn thing. Oh my god, I wish they would make these easier to find. Start from the top and work our way down. Okay, choose 1 ability score. You gain the following benefits. Increase the ability score by 1 to max 20. You gain proficiency in singing threads using that chosen ability. Okay, there you go. Alright, so go ahead and add that to your character. Which one are you picking? Corinth. Did he go mute?
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Which one are you picking?
I'm actually going to go with skilled, I believe, and get some more skills, because wizard skills are so lower. So I'm going to go with skilled. Gives me you gain proficiency in any combination of 3 skills of your choice.
All right, go for it.
So there we go. That's what I'll do. Make it easy. Thank you.
All right, so we got that. Now we need to do your background. I want this in here. So you're going to actually pick one and then go with it. Are you looking at the list here?
Yeah, I'm looking at my character sheet right now, yeah.
No, not your character sheet. I linked something in Skype. These are the different backgrounds. This is what will go into the stuff like your personality trait, your ideals, your bonds, your flaws.
Okay.
So I need you to pick one of those. Thanks for that right side piece. Hey! First thing that popped up on the thing on the bottom said Voltron. Voltron! Hey, it's like they know I'm here researching things. It's crazy. The other ones were Kirk and Spock and Marvel's ships. But Voltron was the top thing, and I even looked him up in them forever. What's looking appealing to you there, Corin?
So far I'm looking at Hermit, just because that fits with the Elvish background and kind of being in a secluded Elven community, so that one works.
Why not?
La vita Rufino.
I'm not hearing anything. It might be in Roll20 if you still have it active in the jukebox.
But I don't know what the hell that was.
Do you still have it active in the jukebox?
No, it was some kind of Hispanic music.
Do you have GG open or something in a tab?
No.
That
was weird.
You have something in the first tab that's doing... Yeah, it's a commercial. What are your first tab and then your last tab has like something running with audio. That's why.
Well, they've never done that before. All right, so
it's ads. It's ads.
All right, so we have Hermit. Any other ones looking?
Acolyte, that works.
Acolyte, okay.
Yep, and the god that I would pick would be the goddess of magic, Mystra or Mystara, however you want to say it. Yeah, Mystra. Yes. Yeah. So those two seem pretty good so far to fit my character.
Well, let's pick one.
All right. Let's actually go with Acolyte.
All right, so we're going to pick Acolyte.
Yep.
All right. You have spent your life in the service of a temple to a specific god or a patron of gods. You act as an intermediary between the realm of the holy and the mortal world, performing sacred rites and offering sacrifices in order to conduct worshippers into the presence of the divine. You're not necessarily a cleric. Perform a sacred rite is not the same thing as channeled divine power. Choose a god, a pantheon of gods, or some other quasi-divine being, and work with your DM to detail the nature of religious service. We already did that. You're going to pick Mystra, the goddess of magic and the weave. So you get skill proficiencies. You automatically get insight and religion, so add those if you haven't already. You also get equipment. You get a holy symbol, so you will have the symbol of Mystra. You can either pick a prayer book or wheel.
Cool.
You get 5 sticks of incense, vestments, a set of common clothes, and you get a belt patch containing 15 gold pieces. So you get 15 gold pieces.
Sweet.
Alright, as an acolyte, you command the respect of those you share your faith with, blah 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 blah. Basically more into that, you can read that yourself. So, we're going to pick your personality traits. So, I need you to roll a d8, and I will copy and put this in there for you.
I'm trying to get the dice roller to come up.
That's what she said. Come on.
Usually it comes, the option comes out right when you click it. It's very weird.
Yeah, that's happened to me before too. It's usually hidden somewhere on the screen.
You got it. It was behind. Yeah, it was behind my character sheet. Yeah. All right, so you want a D what?
D8.
D8.
1. I idolize a particular hero of my faith and constantly refer to that person's deeds or example. You want to pick a hero from Forgotten Realms you want to idolize?
The symbol.
The Witch Queen.
The Witch Queen. There you go. Yeah, because she's often depicted like with lightning hair and flying and storms and stuff. So
and, I don't know if
that would work.
Right. I just put something in there, but and you do know that she is at this time, because she is part of Forgotten Realms. She has passed away. So you still, that was you growing up. That was who you idolized and try to live like, you know, her. So research the symbol. I'm not going to go into it right now. She's one of the 7 sisters. So there you go. All right. Roll a d6 for me. What'd you get? 3? Alright. We must help bring you change. We must help bring about the changes the gods are constantly working in the world. Let's fit your character, because I think you're chaotic good, right?
I believe I might be neutral.
Change that to chaotic, brother. Alright, roll me another d6.
So would I roll again or alter my alignment? Okay.
Yeah, just roll again. These are your bonds. D6. 6. Nice. I seek to preserve a sacred text that my enemies consider heretical and seek to destroy.
I like it.
Okay. Now you have to incorporate some of this into your bio. We talked a little bit about your bio, which we'll get into, that you're part of an high elf society and stuff, and you can kind of add this to your backstory. So we won't get too much into your backstory because we're kind of adding some stuff. And then your flaw. Let's see what your flaw is. Hopefully, as you think people that are paranoid are dumbasses, and you can always bitch slap Finn.
Hey.
One can only pray. Roll a d6 for me, my friend. 3. Let's see. My piety sometimes leads me to blindly trust those that profess faith in my God. Ooh.
That's a good one to roleplay with, too. I like that.
You're naive. When it comes to people that say, I love Mishra. Oh, I love Mishra, too. Hell, I told you about our Lord and Savior, Voltron. Oh, I follow Voltron. Oh, you made a wise choice. Changes. Alright, so those are your background. You can kind of tie that in there already. You kind of had some stuff in there, so... well, you kind of just put some stuff, bio and info about air genocide. So you're going to have to change this up a little bit. You are an air genocide, so you will have ties to what you have in here, but your true faith is the Weave. And you are very devoted to the Living Sisters. Anybody like Eleminster, Vadergas, anybody of the chosen of good alignment that have followed Mistress' teachings, anybody in her church, her doctrine, are big deals to you.
And maybe, possibly, I'm trying to repair the Weave or find something.
I would say that would be
the Weave might be.
You're trying to protect that would be your thing that you're trying to protect is the Weave. Because, you know, after the Second Sundering and stuff, and the Spell Plague and everything that's happened in Faerun, you know, the gods have pulled back, but the Weave is still very important. And you know that there's people out there trying to take control of the Weave and things of that nature. So your highest importance is the Weave. It's not so much a text or anything. Mr. was not about text or anything like that. It's about the Weave and magic and protecting that. So that could be your third thing the thing that you're trying to protect. It's not so much a book or anything. That's the weave. And you can incorporate that into your. You can incorporate that into your backstory. I would like to see your bio and info. Show that you're in your backstory. I need you to write me a backstory about that in there.
Will do.
All right. And you got your 2 feats added into your character sheet.
I've got them written down. I'll put them on the character sheet here soon. So, but yeah, I've got it already.
All right.
I'm also picking my spells right now, Ranger.
That's fine. You get 1 extra spell, so.
Yeah, I get 1 cantrip and I get 1 second level.
And you've got another spell coming to you too, as well. I think because you're wizard at 4th level, you get another. You had 2 second level spells. You've got a 3rd one now.
My cantrip is Vicious Mockery. Just so you know, I'm picking my second.
That one.
It's fun. It fits with my character too.
It does.
He's scared an entire bar.
All right, John Moran, you are next, my friend.
Hey, I was thinking of going the feats route as well.
All right, well, let's talk about it. Let's look at your character, see what you got, and let's figure it out. So let's see what's the name of your character. Let's let the
Rogaris.
So Rogaris, we still haven't picked a last name, right?
No.
All right, and I think we did your background. We did. So your personality traits: I've lost too many friends. I'm slow to make new ones. Ideals: responsibility. I do what I must and obey just authority, lawful. Those who fight beside me are those we're dying for. And flaws: the monstrous enemy we face in battle still leaves me quivering with fear. You are now a 4th level dwarf fighter. You are chaotic good. Alright, so let's talk about your feats. What are you looking to do here, my friend?
Well, I was thinking the first one was that tough feat. As I read it, I thought it was pretty good.
You can go tough, yeah. So let's look at tough again. Let me find it. Oh, Control F.
Because I think it'll raise my hit points to 39, if I'm reading it right.
Let's see. Your hit points increase by twice, so it'll be twice your level, so you'll get 8 for that. And whenever you gain a level thereafter, you'll increase by 2. So make sure you in your feats you write tough and copy this. Do you want me to do this for you?
Yeah, please.
All right.
And Adam Welch asked, what level are you starting at? So what Varkesh said is correct. We started at level 3. We had 3 different sessions before this one. The first one, we were inside of a bar, essentially, and we were just kind of wandering around inside of the bar and getting information. So it was very much a roleplay session. The second one was largely roleplay, and we started combat. And then the third one was combat-oriented. We cleaned out a goblin cave. And so we leveled up after that one. So our 4th session is all of us leveling up to level 4 right now. Normally it's 2 ability points or 1 feat, but Ranger, because we didn't do a feat before, is giving us 2 feats at level 4 if we want, but only one of them can
they won't get this opportunity until level 8. It's going to be a while for their level 8. So, and at that time they can do 2 ability points or they can pick another feat, but they will not be able to get 2 feats again. Since I didn't do this at level 1, and because we're kind of I was unfamiliar with how the feat system was. There's no feat system in D&D 5th edition. It's kind of how DM's discretion. You can let them pick one at level 1. I didn't really do that, so I figured they've had some experience now. It kind of makes sense as a role-playing thing that they are starting to acquire certain skills and abilities through their experiences and stuff like that. So, all right, so you are going to you already start off. You get 8 hit points, right? So it's 8 hit points right off the bat because it's twice the level, right?
Yeah.
And you'll gain 2 additional ones each time. So when you roll from now on, so let's go to fighter. Oh, if I can find the goddamn thing. All right. Anything else? You get a 4th. I think it's everybody's at 4th. They get either that or their feats. Oh, for God's sakes! Come on, internet. Oh, it's a site, not somewhere. All right, so you can go 6 plus your con modifier, or you can roll a 1d10. And your con modifier is 4, so you can.
So that'd be 10.
10 plus 8, 18. So you would add 18 hit points to your score, or unless you want to roll and see if you can get higher.
Yeah, no, my rolls have been awful so far. Let's go with that.
All right, so go ahead and add 18 hit points to your current. So it should be 48. There you go. So we've gotten tough. Now, is there anything else you'd like to do? Do you have another feat?
Well, here's the thing. I'm basically debating between 3 of them.
Sure.
Fell-handed.
Let's look at it. Fell. You master the hand axe, battle axe, great axe. You are using a warhammer. What are you using as your hand? Great axe?
Yeah.
All right, so
battle axe.
So you get a +1 bonus attack rolls when you might use the weapon. Whenever you have advantage on a melee attack roll, you can knock the target prone. Okay. When you have disadvantage on melee attack roll, the target takes bloody damage equal to your strength modifier if the attack misses. But okay. If you use help action, you block the target shield side monetarily addition. So okay, fell-handed is 1. What's the other ones you're looking at?
Medic.
So, yeah, you could become a medic. Increase your wisdom by 1. Or, and what's the last one?
Dwarven fortitude.
So you increase your constitution by 1. When you take the dodge action in combat, you can spend 1 hit die to heal yourself. Roll the die, add your constitution modifier, and gain the number of hit points to that number. Is dodge a feat that you have to have? Let's see if it is. Because there are dodges, but it's... I guess... Okay, never mind. I'm retarded. So, which one of those do you want to do?
Well, I'm not sure which one is better.
How you want to roleplay your character? Do you want to just be the tank that you are? Do you want to... do you want to be able to heal people after combat? Or do you want to have the ability to heal yourself in combat?
Well, we already have a couple of healers in the party, don't we?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe that fell-handed.
All right. Is that what you want to go with?
Yeah.
All right. So just remember, you have a +6. You have a +1 to hit on top of that. So on your battle axe, I don't know if we can add it there. I don't know if we can add it. I'm not seeing.
What are you looking to do?
Add +1 to his attack for his axe.
You should be able to do it from the main page. Hold on. Let me see if I can get there really quick. Yeah, so there's a little line that says attack.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you can just replace that with the one.
Okay. It's not doing it. I didn't do it. Not that. There he goes. Got it. Alright, so you have a +6. Now I've listed all your abilities and stuff, so you've got that squared away. So let's look at your bio. So we picked so based off your background, you need to write a little short bio based off the personality traits and everything we did, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, did we ever get Andrew squared away, Dr. Finn?
He was going to try and get on his mobile. Let me follow up with him again.
But I've got something written in my bio.
Yeah, but you need to take your personality traits and incorporate that in your backstory. So if you look at if you go to the core, right? I've lost too many friends and I'm slow to make new ones. Something happened where you've been a warrior, right? Fighting battles, write a story about that. You do what you must be done. So you've always been a soldier that obeyed the rules of combat and fought, right? You're very loyal to those that fight beside you. They're worth dying for. And basically you can say your whole battalion got wiped out by, like, say, some giant monster, and it's kind of left you a little bit hesitant when facing that specific kind of creature. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So write something along those lines. And we're waiting to hear back from other folks.
Mm-hmm. So if you guys have more questions about our characters or the D&D campaign, any of you guys are just trying to figure out the rules and stuff, let us know. We might be able to do some of the campaign, right, Ranger? I think we're still wandering around.
Yeah, we're missing a lot of people, though.
Yeah. Don't worry, we got it.
I mean, we can, but I mean...
No, we can wait. I'm not too worried about that. It's a very busy weekend for some people, so... Alright, so let me see. I'm looking at my character. So the other spell that I picked, Ranger, for my second level is Heat Metal.
Okay. What was the other one you picked? I thought it was...
Vicious Mockery is my cantrip.
Okay. Did you get a cantrip?
Yeah, I get one cantrip and I get one second level spell.
Alright, make sure you check yours too. I didn't check to see if you got a cantrip, Corinth.
Okay.
And where are we with Mr. Sweeney?
He hasn't responded yet.
What did I tell you about yelling at folks, Finn?
I shouldn't do it too often. Oh, so when we talk about cantrips and that kind of stuff, so there are different types of spells that you get. There are cantrips, and then there's leveled spells from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and it goes up to, I think, 9 at least that I've seen. So what they are is, as you get higher level, then you can you learn different spells as you get higher level. And so at the current level, when we just got into level 4, we get the ability to learn particular spells. Now, cantrips are kind of equivalent to level 0. Now, a change of this versus D&D 5 is that cantrips you can basically use, I think, unlimited for all classes, Ranger? Or do some of them have restrictions?
For what?
Cantrips.
No.
Okay. So these are the previous of what's happening with level 0 spells, except now you can use them unlimited. And so these are just like little spells. They're not like huge damage dealing spells. They're not really game changing spells, but they're little ones that you can use in particular to make a little bit of a difference here and there. And so you may have seen some of mine used in the last campaign. One of them was Message. So Message is one of my cantrips where I can basically whisper a message to somebody. Putting it in the chat. So Message is allowing me to point my finger towards a character and whisper a message to them if they're within 120 feet. And so I can go in there and basically just say something to them. And they can hear it basically as if it's in their head. And so I can conversate with somebody a little bit down the way. And so if you remember, and I think it was in session number 2, when Vancel and Orgrim were going kind of into the cave, initially I had message between myself and Vancel when he stopped, and then I messaged back to the rest of the group that there was a trap. And so it makes it handy for communication purposes. So message kind of fits with that. And then the other cantrip was prestidigitation. And that kind of lets you make like a little, it basically is like doing a little magic trick, like a little spark, little puff of smoke, little odors, just very little. It doesn't really affect anything. But in the last session, in session 3, I used it along with a couple of other abilities, and Ranger had fun with that one because they got bad rolls. I believe it was Corinth that put a puff of smoke, like a big smoke cloud, around the 2 goblins that were there, and they weren't sure what was going on. And I basically yelled a message. It wasn't using the spell, but I was using the intimidation, or no, I was using the what was it, deception, I think it was. And was basically trying to convince them that something was there attacking them because one of them had just kind of fired an arrow right next to the head of another person. So I was like, you know what, let me see if I can try and convince them that somebody's there. So I did a deception, and then I put a little light with my prestidigitation in between them. So then they thought that it was the light that was doing something in between them. Prestidigitation on its own is just the light, but the rest of it was kind of the skills that I have that brought it all together. So that's been some of the uses of the cantrips that I've had. I picked a new one this time called Vicious Mockery. This one actually lets me make fun of somebody. It literally is me insulting somebody. This one does deal a little bit of damage if they don't succeed their wisdom save. And basically I'm trying to convince them that they are worthless. To summarize it here, it's basically trying to convince them of something. I'm insulting them to the point where it actually hurts, and then they can get a disadvantage on their attack rolls. They can take damage from the initial insults. So very much word speak with my spells. Then I have some level 1 spells. Charm Person, you can kind of guess what that is. Comprehend Languages allows me to speak other languages. I have Cure Wounds. I've healed people a few times. I have Detect Magic. Detect Magic is a slight oddity with my build, but it's partly because of my personality trait. In addition, with my personality trait kind of being just kind of silly and wanting a good laugh, he has a focus on an interest in magic. And so Detect Magic just kind of fit with the character. It's a useful ability. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I think last time Corinth used Detect Magic on the chests that we had. And so the Detect Magic is just kind of there for my character. We'll see if he gets to use it, but he is interested in magic stuff. And then my level 2 spells are Suggestion and Calm Emotion prior to this one. And I've tried to use those, and I think I've failed on both attempts that I've tried to use it. It was against the big humanoid dude in the third session. With the big humanoid dude and trying to get him to calm down, but he failed, so that didn't work. And I just got Heat Metal. And in terms of character play, the reason for Heat Metal is because you can heat any kind of metal weapon that somebody is holding. And so the idea for my character is, because he's not combat oriented, he doesn't want to fight people that are armed, and so he can heat the weapon and then get them to drop it potentially. So it is just becoming a battle of words rather than a battle of fists or weapons or those kind of things, where that is not his forte. So that's the kind of the focus around the spells that my character is kind of moving along with. Have you decided your spells, Corinth?
Yeah, no, mine's a little bit more complicated. I have to figure those ones out. Since that's my entire character, if I mess them up, I don't want to mess them up.
Yeah.
All right. Any word on Andrew?
He's still trying to get it fixed. He's just about to start breaking things to see if it helps.
I'm considering Acid Arrow. I like that spell a lot, where it's a arrow of acid, and then it does damage over time as well. That's a 2nd level spell. I think that would be pretty useful for a single target as well. So that's one of them I'm considering.
Acid Arrow is pretty nifty.
Alright. Well, does he want to do it to where he can pick and I can add it in for him? Dr. Finn?
Yeah, let me see if he just wants to join, and then he can listen and type, and then we can get it done. And do you have the SRD page open, Ranger, so we can just kind of show everyone what the leveling looks like, so they know?
Yeah.
So there is an SRD. You can search for it. It's just a D&D 5 SRD. If you search for that, you can find a bunch of 5th edition SRDs. Each character has their own page, and when you scroll down into their table, like they have a leveling up table that shows what they get at each level. Now, some of them, like you can see for the fighter one, is fairly simple. Fighters are very focused on their attacks, and so they get a few bonus features. They get their proficiency bonus, which helps them with their skills. They get their and you can see based on what level, what ability it is. Now, the total that you see there is the actual total. You're not adding +2 at each of the levels. The total for your proficiency bonus is +2. But if you go to a character like mine, which is a bard, you also have spells. And so if you look at that page, you'll see there's level, there's proficiency bonus, there's also features, which are common with the fighter, but then you also have the spells component. And then you have the cantrips, like we mentioned, which are level 4 or level 0 spells. And then you have the spells known, which are the leveled spells, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 9. And each of the different levels, you can see how many you can use per day. And so for the bard, I can use at level 4. If you go along the row for 4, you'll see that I have the ability to use 4 first level spells and 3 second level spells now, which is an increase of 1 in the second. The features, they do add up. So you get the feature at that level plus everything that you had before. So I get the Bard College, I get Expertise, I get Jack of all trades, I get Song of Rest, I get all that stuff. So all of that comes in with my abilities. So it always kind of varies that way.
All right. Where are we at with old Andrew?
I'm waiting for him to respond. Let me add him to the call and just see if he'll pop in. Where's V? Is V out?
I don't know.
Let's see. So, what else is there? I'm trying to think what questions you guys had during our streams, because it's harder for us to answer questions during the regular campaigns because we're kind of in character and we're focusing more heavily on being our characters. And it's difficult to become Oregon. He's a crazy little gnome.
No, he's not.
Inspecting chairs.
See, I just rolled a natural 20. You die.
now I have to roll a new character.
Yep. Now I only roll a natural 19.
Oh, you're having fun with your dice now?
I am having fun with my dice. Thanks to the wonderful Bimatsu. Let's see what happens next. Nope, you died again.
Damn it. Freaking Bimatsu keep giving Ranger dice that just kills my characters. That's not fun.
Nope, 3 deaths in a row. I'm sorry, fans. It's just not your day.
Yeah, so I mean that's what we're working on here. Let me see. I think I have some things that I can add to my sheet here. I think I just saw a Song of Life, I think it's called. Song of Rest. I wanted to see how Song of Rest works. I could have used that last time. I didn't put that ability in. Alright, so Song of Rest, beginning at 2nd level, you can use soothing music or oration to help revitalize your wounded allies during a short rest. If you or any friendly creatures who can hear your performance regain hit points by spending hit dice at the end of short rest, each of those characters gain... What does it mean, spend hit dice?
What do you mean? Hit dice are hit dice.
Yeah, but how do you spend your hit dice?
You use them to get hit points back.
Then they come back after a long rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I can heal people for 4d6 health now. Interesting. Yay! New ability that I forgot to include. Okay. So now I'll bring that in. Alright, so now I have a little bit more of a healing ability. Hooray. And let's see. I think I added expertise. Let me just double check. Is this one included? Okay, how do I do Jack of all trades? Alright, so I have another ability here. So DB, so Kazekage Too Easy says, I am here. Well, welcome, Kazekage Too Easy.
Welcome.
DB says, question, did you guys start at level 3 or did I miss it on the first stream? No, we did start at level 3. And question for spells, do they get stronger with each level or do you pick a stronger spell at each level? Both.
Both.
So a lot of the spells scale with your level. So as you get higher up, they'll increase in how many dice you roll in order to get the damage up. So it'll vary. And then you can get some better ones as you get into higher levels as well.
Right. So let's say you're looking at the wizard. If it ever would come up. So you can see as you get higher level, you get into the 7th, 8th. You won't get your 9th level spell until 17th.
Okay, I don't think there's a way for me to add the jack of all trades on here, so I just have to remember I have to add 1 to all of my non-specific roles. My non-proficient roles.
Right. If you're not proficient in it, you can just do jack of all trades.
Yeah, but I have to remember to add half of my proficient. It doesn't add it automatically to it, so I have to, which is annoying. There's a way I can manually do it, but then I have to replace it manually every single time, so I'm just going to keep it there as an ability to remind myself. Man, bards get so many different abilities. Damn.
All right, where are we at with old DV or Andrew?
He hasn't responded. I think he's just not able to get it working now.
All right.
That's unfortunate.
Well, tell him if he still wants to come in. We can do it offline, even with the memories and stuff, so we can get his character stuff taken care of.
Yep.
But I think that kind of covers it. I'm not seeing any questions and stuff, so it's kind of a little shorter session where we try to give you guys a little bit of insight into some of the characters and their backgrounds and how things are picked and a little bit how the game works and things of that nature.
I picked my expertise, right? Yeah, it's there. Okay.
All right. I think that covers anything. Anything else you should cover, Finn?
No, I think that covers everything.
Yeah. So we'll continue the campaign come hell or high water next week. Next Sunday at 5 p.m. We'll continue with the story that we started. The characters are level 4 as they move on to bigger and better things. We'll start our launch of that. So that being said, thanks for stopping by. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. If you have more questions regarding D&D, you can join us in the which D&D chat should they join?
There is a D&D chat channel.
Okay.
Under game chats, there's called D&D chat.
All right. So if you have questions about that, then by all means, come on in and you can feel free to ask questions there in our Discord. That's what it's set up for. And make sure you check out our Patreon, guys. If you like what you see and you want to support the channel, you can go to our Patreon. Help us keep putting up content like this. This is what we're kind of doing. And we're going to have a pretty long campaign session next week. So be prepared for thyself. Anything else you want to add, Dr. Finn?
Any of the tedious stuff you want us to do now, or just wait for the group?
Wait for the group.
Travel-wise, or getting into cities and that kind of stuff?
You guys have got to... I need the group effort to make decisions like that. I don't want to just do that. So that's going to be up to you guys. So, all right. So we're going to end it there. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. Quick little session thing. So... we will see you next time. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the lunch stream, of course. But everyone stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we will holler at you later. Peace.